Cults of irrelevant coins. That's a quote from Raoul recently discussing XRP and Cardano investors. And I understand what he's getting at. Look, early on in this crypto growth cycle, both coins have been dogs. They're not the hot topic. It's all about RWAs, DePIN, artificial intelligence, these high-flying next-generation blockchains. Those have been the outperformers. But I wouldn't extrapolate that through this whole bull run. When we look at XRP, post-lawsuit, chain's going through a lot right now. A huge transformational shift. We see new features, a new foundation emerging, some lingering questions regarding, legal issues we're going to have to work through here. We should know more here shortly. Slowly, we are being reintegrated on platforms. Your Coinbases, your Krakens, they were quick. They listed XRP right away, but now we see the grayscales launching funds, and this is just going to continue. Across the board, almost everything is better for XRP this time around than it was the last bull run. And if you bought XRP on the last day you could have on Coinbase when it was being delisted, a really bad and dangerous time for that asset. It outperformed both Bitcoin and Ethereum from that date to the top of the market. So, just because something isn't performing today doesn't mean it's not going to in the near future here as we go through this growth cycle. XRP is a tricky one. We don't have a lot of comparable stats from the last run because it was significantly harmed. We don't know how high it might have gone and try to extrapolate that into what we're currently going through. It's guesswork of the highest order, but I think it will do better, and which will be quite good actually from where we stand now. Cardano, huge world-class governance upgrade here. It's done a ton of building. If you compare Cardano today from where it was the last bull run, it's a totally different chain. I mean, think about that. When that growth phase kicked off, we didn't even have smart contracts yet. Now you have an ecosystem. Both of these chains are primed and ready for adoption. If you saw last time, Binance Coin, when things kicked off, wasn't worth that much. What happened? As Ethereum started getting slogged down, as people needed alternatives, stuff started spilling over. Cardano was ready to capture all that activity. I think both of these chains could do that. Only time will tell how these emerge and how much activity they capture, but I think both are primed for exactly that. And they're going to have a really excellent, growth curve here as crypto starts to pick up. We can call them irrelevant. XRP's number 7, Cardano's number 11. They are far from irrelevant. They just haven't performed lately. That's what's nice about having a nice broad investment portfolio. That way you're not sitting on your hands. You're waiting for XRP and Cardano to pick up the pace. You've done nicely with Bitcoin. Ethereum's held its value good. I didn't have Solana. Hopefully you did. That's a lot of early growth. But that doesn't mean Solana's going to continue outperforming at this same pace. There's a timing and a flow to this market. And, you'll have to see it play out. But these definitely are not irrelevant coins. But sometimes coins become that. We saw that with Litecoin. And a whole mess of coins that used to be, top 20 coins. EOS, for instance. Like, this does happen, so you got to keep an eye on things. But at this point in time, you can't write either of these primetime major large cap cryptos off. I think they'll have their moment, they'll perform, and we will see how much, really adoption they capture. It's a waiting game to some extent. I heard a lot of similar arguments around Link last time around. It was a darling of the bear market, just outperformed everything, and it was a real dog once the real fun and games began. You got to be careful with that. What has been performing mindset will continue. Not always. A lot of times not. Look, last time around, at this time in the cycle, EOS was the number 10 crypto in the world. It still gave you 250% returns. No one's going to, quote unquote, miss out on this bull run. Make sure you have some of those emerging and exciting investments that capture, RWAs, artificial intelligence, DePIN, the really high throughput chains with all sorts of capability. That's great. But if you don't hold these long-standing, large market cap layer ones, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. They're going to perform. And when they do, it's going to be quite exciting. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.